Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in Chicago, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is June 24th, 2021, and it is a Thursday. That means it's happy hour. Today, I'm going to be trying something new for happy hour, a new recovery beverage. Hopefully, you guys have a nice recovery beverage that you can be enjoying. I'll be trying for the first time today Orgain Organic Protein. So it's plant-based, it's vegan, no soy either, and non-GMO. And zero sugar, zero dairy, which makes sense because it's vegan, right? So, well, it could be sugar. I guess it depends on the sugar. But no dairy, and it is gluten-free as well. So I thought I'd give it a try. I finished up basically all my other proteins. So I finished up the Scratch Labs chocolate protein powder. I finished up the Goo. Was it Goo? No, it was Cliff chocolate powder. And I also finished up a bottle of only what you need. I have one or maybe two a day. So it's not like I ate them all at once, but yeah. So I needed some new stuff. So I thought I'd give it a shot today. So before we get to that, let's say hi to everyone listening in on the podcast version. You guys are probably out for a run right now. So probably not with a recovery beverage yet, but hopefully you'll have a good run and have something nice to treat yourself to when you get back. And then everyone watching this on YouTube after the fact, not live, hopefully you're at a time of day where you can enjoy a recovery beverage like this or something a little bit stronger if that's what you're into. So hopefully you are having a good day. Let's say hi to everyone who's here in the chat. We got Chrissy out here first. He said he went out on the bike today, and now doesn't know if his butt pain is his piriformis or from the bike. A tale as old as time, isn't it? Hazim90 says, hey, yo, what's going on, Hazim? Recycle on Wednesdays is here. Says, hi, everyone. And Steve76 says, yo, what's going on? Luis is here, says, it's the same protein powder that he uses. Oh, okay. Well, I ordered it off Amazon because that's where I buy kind of everything. But, I have been thinking there's a couple of there's actually, maybe there's two. Maybe that one closed. But there's at least one, like, what's one of those stores? It's like a GNC. It's not a GNC, but it's one of those stores that just sells tubs of things and shaker bottles. There's one of those in my neighborhood that we pass frequently. I was like, maybe I need to go to that. I'm sure it's not a small business, but it's a smaller business than Amazon. So maybe, but I always feel like if you go in there, like who knows what you're getting with these, I guess, if you're just buying stuff on Amazon, you're not really sure what you're getting, but it seems like it had a lot of positive reviews. So at least there's that to help along. And the other thing that I was thinking is that I got an email yesterday, not me, like a blast email went out because I signed up for the USATF Masters Championship, and they were like, well, I'm a USATF member now because that's what you needed to do to sign up for that meet. And one was like, hey, today, because I got the email last night. Today is the last day that you could sign up on time to compete in this Masters Championship. Be aware that competitors may be drug tested. And they're like, be aware that if you're taking certain medications, you may need a temporary use exemption. That's what TUE stands for, right? A temporary use exemption. So I was like, oh, do I got to double check my supplements to make sure? Like, I think there isn't like a USADA or a WADA like approved or like certified safe procedure or like sticker that you could put on a product. But like, I know some products like have that kind of clean sport type of certification and others don't. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I never looked for that because I'm like, what would I need to really know that for? Like if it's something that lots of other runners are using, I'm going to assume it's kind of safe. So I guess I should kind of double check on some of that because I've been buying some weird stuff lately too, like the vegan like collagen precursors, things like that, which are like, again, just something random I bought on Amazon. Like, so maybe I need to check that out. But if at least you're using it, you can feel a little bit better. All right, Sam Ambery says, hello, Kafuzi. My mom's here, coming in from New Jersey. Jonathan Ward says, hello, everyone. And Dominic Schrott coming in from China. Is that what that is? CH? No, China. Yeah. CN is Canada. CH is China, right? I don't know those letters that everyone does. Sue says, hey, everybody. And Lee says, about the Orgain protein, the chocolate flavor is the one that has 9 grams of sugar. Oh, that's why I buy the vanilla one. See here? Yeah. So this one, it says it's got 21 grams of plant protein, which I think is a great number. 5 grams of prebiotic fiber, which I suppose is good because you got to feed those. You got to feed the gut biome, right? And then you got 0 grams of sugar. I tend to like for my post workouts, I like to have a little bit of sugar in there to kind of like, jumpstart recovery a little bit. But that's okay because I can always add sugar to it later. So like maybe I need to try the chocolate next if I like this one. All right. Benny says hey, and Steve says, hey all, kettle on for a cup of tea. Awesome. All right. Let me get this stuff started so that we can check it out. I already opened it up because that always makes a giant mess on my computer when I don't. And this, they say you got to use, what's this thing? 2 scoops and 12 ounces of liquid. So I got my jar here and we'll put 2 scoops in. Dominic Trust says CH is Switzerland. Yeah. I don't understand that, but okay. I'll definitely remember that. Frank is saying like, oh, therapeutic use exemption. That's TUE. That's what it is. I think that's right. And Frank says Kofuzi's worried he's going to win. I'm not worried I'm going to win. I don't think I'm going to win. I just don't want to come in. Well, I mean, even if I come in last, that's fine. I just want to go out there and have a good time. But I'm just like, well, do they do like, they don't do like random drug testing, do they? I mean, we know from trivia the other day that even like 90-year-olds they're testing if they're setting world records and stuff. So like, I don't know. Am I going to get blood tested? I've never been blood tested before. All right. So it's a lot of powder that's in the bottom of this jar. And I got some water that we'll put it in. Greg's here. What's going on? Greg says, eat a burrito, Co. Okay. That was in poor taste, pun intended. Yeah. I mean, you know, what's funny is a lot of, you know, Hoka seems to be going after this whole burrito thing pretty hard. I mean, not necessarily as like an organization, but a lot of the athletes seem to be going after it pretty hard in terms of like, you know, having a variety of their athletes are having, I mean, first there's Scott Fauble, right? Fauble's a Hoka athlete. So he's Burrito Mafia for sure. So that was like one thing to begin with. But then, you know, Camille Herron's been talking a lot about how she loves to have her pork tacos on Taco Tuesday. I saw something else. I think at the track trials, there's something like Ben Rosario's at something. I think it's a lot of the NEC elite people where something where I think that there was going to be tacos involved, like pork tacos were going to be involved, or maybe I read that wrong, but I just feel like I've been seeing a lot of kind of like very subtle shots fired from the Hoka camp over at this whole burrito gate kind of, is that what we're calling it? I don't like it when people call things gate. Anyway. Yeah. So we'll see. Stevie 76 says there's gonna be some safe stickers on burritos, like guaranteed no awful, which is a really weird word, right? OFFAL, which I mean, is that intentionally like they're like false homonyms, right? Is that, I mean, that's not a real phrase, but like pig organ meat sounds awful, but it's awful. See, there's a dad joke, right? So I'm not sure. Yeah, it's all weird. All right. Tony, you says, Kofuzi, what would you say the lifespan is for a Pegasus runner before it causes issues to one body? I currently have one close to 300 Ks on my Peg 37. Thanks. I'd say if you think it's causing issues to your body, it doesn't matter how many kilometers you have on it. You know, sometimes you get a bad one. Sometimes maybe what you've been doing on it, you know, maybe you had like a couple of days where you were somewhere new and they put a little extra wear and tear on it. So like if it's causing you problems on your body, like get the different shoe. 300K seems a little bit short. So that's what, 180 miles. Yeah, that seems a little bit early, but not unheard of. I would be disappointed if at like 180 miles, like my peg started to go. I would like 250, maybe 225 is where I would start to kind of like look for things, you know, like, is this shoe bothering me or not? You know, that's kind of what I would think. All right. Cheers, everybody. I'm going to have some of this Orgain Organic Protein vanilla bean flavored. This is pretty nice. Not like a terribly strong vanilla flavor, a light flavor. There's a powderiness to it, which I feel like I get with a lot of vanilla flavored protein drinks. Guys, if you hear music in the background, my kids are watching Luca, that new Disney movie, and we just hit the end of it. But they're like super into it, so that's why they're like blasting it right now. But it's good. There's a little bit of frothiness at the top too, which usually when that happens in a protein shake, I'm like, ugh, it's gross. But this is actually kind of nice. I'm not going to say it's crema like, but you know, it adds to the experience. I feel like I could enjoy this hot. Maybe some warm almond milk or something. That'd be kind of nice. So tasty. I think I like this one. I've been kind of like the last couple of vanilla flavored protein drinks I had, I was like, maybe I'm over vanilla for protein, but this one's working for me. It says it's got good, clean nutrition. That's what it says like right on the back. I'm not saying it's good, clean nutrition, but it says it's that. And it's got organic pea protein, organic acacia. I don't know what that is, frankly. organic brown rice, and organic chia seeds. So I like the chia seeds that are in here. So pretty cool. But here's the weird thing. So it said 0 grams sugar, right? And the total carbohydrates on this is 15 grams, dietary fiber less than 1 gram, 0 grams added sugar, and 5 grams of erythritol. I don't know how that adds up to 0, but somehow that adds up to 0. So I don't know. The sugar math always, I feel like it's always weird. I never really quite understand it. All right. Burp says, Michael, I'm now one of your 12,500 followers on Strava. You follow a couple hundred yourself. How do you choose who to Strava follow? Thanks. Well, thanks for following, Burps. That's awesome. Yeah, I've been growing over there. It's been pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of times the people that I follow are people that I see like in the live stream frequently. So there'll be names that I like recognize, and I'll be like, oh, I wonder. I'm sure they have Strava, so I'll check people out. Other things that I'll do is I try to follow a lot of athletes. I try to follow a lot of local people as well. So like people, like if I see people on a group run, then I'll be like, oh, and I look at the pictures and I'm like, oh, I recognize that person. I've seen them out there before. Then, I'll kind of, maybe is that creepy? Maybe that's creepy. But if their thing is public, so like, yeah, and I'll meet people through Instagram that might be local, and they'll say things like, hey, saw you on the lakefront path today, that kind of thing. So that's kind of a lot of who I'll follow. And then like, if there's pros that are running with other people, you could see that sometimes in the group run, then I'll look to see like, oh, do they have that they're on Strava too? So I'll, they might not be pros, but they're running with pros. So I'll check that out. So that's kind of like my strategy. I don't really think about it too much. And, I probably don't spend as much time in Strava as I should. I think I would spend more time in Strava if they had the ability to I love reaction GIFs. I know that means that I'm old, but I am old and I'm cool with that. So if they had that or the ability to post video, I think I'd spend a lot more time in Strava. But since they don't, it's kind of like my ability to express myself is a little bit limited. So like, I don't like to do posts there. I like to connect it to the activity. Suan would say, is asking, would gin go well with that? No, I don't think so. Cause like, I feel like I don't like dairy in my alcohol. There's a very few instances where I do like it, but gin because there's such a bright bouquet with gin because it's distilled with so many different herbs, or just I don't know what the right word is for it, but there's usually a lot of other ingredients that go into gin that give it those flavors and odors, or I guess fragrances. I think that those tend to like clash pretty hard with dairy. And so like, I know there's no dairy in this, but it kind of has that creaminess to it. So I don't think it would go very well. Like Kahlua would go well in this. Vodka, I think would go well in it. A nice, very clean vodka, I think would go well. Those would probably be the two. Maybe a rum, like a coconut rum. Maybe I could see that. I don't know. That would feel very weird to have something that has like our commitment to clean nutrition on the back combined with like liquor. But that might not be a bad idea. All right. Charles Ventura says he's drinking a strawberry lemonade noon and a cup of coffee. Nice. Took the morning off due to my second dose yesterday. Feel a lot better after drinking the coffee. All right. Cool. Okay. So you had second dose yesterday. Hopefully today. I mean, I feel like if you get through today without a lot of symptoms, then you're probably like in the clear as far as side effects go. So awesome. Richard Smart coming in from Harker Heights again. Are your kids going to be in the pool? Hopefully they're jumping in the pool. Is it a hot day down there? It's getting warmer in here in Chicago. It was super windy. I had another track workout today, and on the home stretch, just like a wall of wind, hot wind. And I was like, ugh. I didn't really feel like doing the workout today either. And I was like, I don't like this. And then it was 400 meter repeats today. And I was like, this is terrible. Because if you do 200 meter repeats, you can kind of cheat the wind a little bit, usually. I mean, if there's the right crosswind makes it miserable no matter what. But if you're doing 200 meter repeats, you can usually find some tailwind or at least side wind, depending on which side you start on or where you start. But with a 400, you're getting it no matter what. All right. Ian Lowe says, hi, Kofuzi. Use my new Nathan Quick Squeeze water bottle on my run this evening. Are you familiar with them? Excellent. Can thoroughly recommend for shorter runs on warm days like today. Ian from the UK. Awesome. Are those the ones? They're like the Hydra Pack, but with there's something like semi-rigid in there to give it a little bit more structure so you can hold it like a speed. They call them, what do they call them? Speed flask, something like that. Yeah, the Hydra Pack I like a lot. The one that I had from that belt is just the wrong shape, I think. So, Stephen Anthony says, a little late, but I made it. Hi, Cohen, everyone. What's going on, Stephen? Good to see you. And see, Jonathan Lesser says, what up? Making stats tables and chugging coffee while dropping into the chat running with y'all. Stats tables. Hopefully that's fun. I don't think I've ever done that, but I think I get the gist of what's going on. So glad to have you here, Donovan. And Jason Dahl says, hey, everyone, finally made a live stream. Been crazy lately. Well, good to see you again, Jason. Jason, you've been saying that a couple of times. Everything going okay? Hopefully you're doing all right. And Martha says, hi, everyone. Can't stay long, but happy to see all your names. And she also says, I see the topic is protein powder. We like Cabra, which is from a special goat farm, goat milk way. Oh, does it taste like goat's milk? I think I could get with that. I love goat cheese. I think it's highly underrated. I don't know if it's an acquired taste, but the first time I had it, I was like, this is weird. And then afterwards, I was like, yes, give me more. So I do like the goat milk. I guess I've never had goat's milk, but I've had goat cheese. So I wonder if it's like that. Dominic Schrott says, which of the latest New Balance shoes would you take for a long, slow distance? Rebel 2, FF More 3, or even another one? I'll take the Fresh Foam More 3 for long, slow distance. Rebel 2, I still haven't tried yet. Hopefully that, I mean, I may wait until like August once I get into, or even September, once I get closer to like finished with, so like July, this next month, I'm going to be focusing on steeplechase and also swimming. And then after the steeple, I will then focus on the triathlon for like a month. Yeah, crazy short amount of time. And then after that, I'll be focusing on Chicago Marathon. So I think that's probably when I'll pick up the Rebel. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll need to, or maybe I won't, depending on how much running I get done. I really don't know how much running I'm going to get done in the next couple of months. I'll be active, but I don't know. I won't be putting in a ton of long miles, I think. But for right now, of all the New Balance shoes I can think of right now, LSD, I would go with the FF More version 3. It really is. It's like the way I think probably the best way I could describe it. It's very Bondi-like. It's like a Bondi, but if the upper fit better. The Bondi upper, for a shoe that's that like cushioned and plush, it's a snug fit, kind of, right? Am I wrong on that? I got like one straight here. So like, I don't know how people like stand around in the Bondis all day. I think I would have a hard time with it, but I know lots of people do and they swear by it. So I still recommend it for that. Maybe I just need to get a different size next time. But I like the FF More 3. Hello. No donuts today. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh.
I just came to have.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Albert Lung is here. Says, hello, everyone. What's going on, Albert? And Benny says, I'm kind of glad Strava's social site is kind of underdeveloped. Less screen time, more time on feed. Yeah, you know, I understand where you're coming from that, Benny, but like that just means I spend more screen time on Twitter or like Instagram. So like, yeah, I think that if Strava was more developed as a social network, then I think I'd probably spend more like running focused screen time than I would other screen time. You know what I mean? I don't know. Either way, I have been noticing that I've been spending a lot of time like looking at the phone lately. So like this weekend's not going to be a good time to kind of break that down, but maybe starting next week. While we're on that subject, so I've got my first trip planned for this weekend. I'm getting on a plane tomorrow morning, but I'm going to be away this weekend. So there won't be, well, we're not doing the weekend live streams anymore, but there won't be a Friday live stream, everybody. So something to keep in mind. So today will be the last live stream of this week, and then I'll see you guys again on Monday. I'll probably be on, maybe we'll hop on like an impromptu live stream at some point, but probably nothing scheduled until next Monday, just so you guys know. I'll remind you guys again at the end. Alex M says, is there any hydration belt that's been working well for you? Looks like your last few reviews were misses. I'm in the market for one. So the last one that I did do was the Camelback Ultra Pack. Camelback has 2 waist packs. One holds like their floppy water bottles. And that one I did a review for, and it bounced a little bit, but for the most part, I think for running and for trail running, I think I could make it work. It would be fine, despite the bouncing. I think there's a lot more cinching that I could do to really get that fit in. It's not the easiest to get back in though. And another one that I'll be testing out soon is a Camelback one that has the bottle and like the bottle like sleeve that like the bottle can sit in, kind of like the Osprey. The Osprey one I liked, but it just was like there was a lot of extra stuff in there that wasn't like I feel like that real estate could have been used better. So like it was good, not as good as the Camelback Ultra Pack. And so I think that I think for running fast or doing workouts, I really like when there's like the leash for the water bottle, and then you can just grab the water bottle out and then slide it back in the sleeve, or like kind of like it's like a quiver, and then you can just slide it back in there. That is really easy to work while running fast. The water bottle isn't as big, but I don't need it to be 500 mils is maybe a little bit more than I need. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm not sure. So that one I'll be trying probably next week. So I really look forward to that one. That one I forget what it's called. It's a Camelback something, but it holds an insulated water bottle. So that's another one that I'll be looking at soon. Dominic Smirnowski says, new life goal, getting Cozy to follow me on Strava and give me kudos on my tempo workouts, which I always had a recovery run. All right, well, yeah, for sure, Dominic. Are you under just Dominic Smirnowski? I'll look for it. Guys, I kind of like this vanilla one. I feel like there's a lot of times with vanilla, there's not enough vanilla flavor. I'm still tasting like protein powder. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe vanilla tastes like protein powder in my mind, but I just feel like there's like a chalkiness at the bottom of it. And this one, there's literally a chalkiness at the bottom of it. You'll see when I kind of drain it. So I'll add more water and drink some more, but I think I need a little bit more of a punch of vanilla. And I think this would be great, but maybe I need to try that chocolate one because it's got a little sugar in it too. Maybe. All right. Adam Pierce says Metaspeed Edge. I do special order from my local running store. It's not widely available. It is available from the ASICS site, but I heard that their inventory may not be accurate. Ooh, thanks, Adam. I'm going to check that out because I have a nagging suspicion, not a secret suspicion, a nagging suspicion that I might be a cadence runner rather than a stride runner. I think that like I can't make my legs get any stronger. They just have to move a little bit faster. So maybe that's it. And PGR says, I read somewhere that the Solomon 500 milliliter soft flask fit in a flip belt. Has anyone tried that? Love to have the option to carry a bit of water without buying a whole waist pack. You know what I think ultimately is going to happen, PJ? I mean, I don't know. I've not heard of that before. My concern is with the soft flask, unless I know that like certain Nathan ones, I'm not sure about Solomon ones because I've never had Solomon ones before, but certain Nathan ones have like a rigid, it looks almost kind of like almost like an I-beam kind of, but it's like a little piece of, not metal, but some sort of plastic that's in there, a little bit of a shank that gives it structure. So basically that way, when it's sitting in your front bottle packs, the bottle sleeves, it doesn't crumple to the bottom, right? So it still stands up even when it's kind of deflated or emptied out a little bit. If it has those, then I think that would work. Otherwise, like how you can't jam in something floppy into like a tight pocket. So like that'd be the only thing, but that'd be interesting. The other thing to think about is someone was saying that flip belt makes a zipper model now. That might just be the answer because I have a hard time getting the flip belt bottle in. And even when I get it in, I feel like it's going to jostle its way out. So flip belt just makes a zipper. That just might be the answer. So, yeah. All right. Stephen Anthony says, quick question. I signed up for my first marathon for November. How do you hydrate during the race? Do you run with a bottle? No, I mean, under normal times, I think a lot of races, at least in Chicago right now, are still doing like sealed bottles. And I think that's probably going to go away soon. But normally during a marathon, some marathons, like the Chicago Marathon, they don't allow you to wear a hydration vest. You can wear a hydration belt, but you can't wear a whole vest. I think it's a safety concern after what happened in Boston. That's my understanding. I'm not sure if that's entirely accurate, but I'm pretty sure you can't wear a vest. But during the race, there's aid stations and there's the cups. So you have to learn to like run and catch the cup Hal Higdon and many others advocate walking through the aid stations that you're going to stop. So that when you walk, give your body a little bit of break, muscles a little bit of a chance to kind of like take a breath, and then drink more water. Maybe take 2 cups as you're walking through, because aid stations are giant, and then resume running in. Or some people do the thing where like you take the cup and you squeeze it and make like a funnel, and you like shovel it down your throat. I don't know. You're gonna end up drinking some of it. It'll go up your nose, that kind of thing. But some people practice it. I don't. You can practice it if you want. I would say the best way to practice that is probably just sign up for some shorter races. But that's how I hydrate. I do bring my own gels, so I always need to have lots of pockets for my marathon race shorts. And Edgar G says, Heiko, any recommendations for a race and daily running shoe? Yeah, it depends. I think it's going to depend in large part on the distance. But I would say probably like without knowing like distance, or if you want to be flexible and do a lot of different distances, I would say probably a race day shoe. I would look at the Endorphin Speed. I just feel like for a lot of people, it's all the shoe that they're ever going to need for a race day. And then for an everyday, I really like the Nova Blast and the Mach 4 this year. All right. Let's see. Martha says goat cheesecake weird mile. Oh, that would make a lot of people hurl, I feel like. Is that good? Part of it, like, I feel like I love cheesecake. I don't know if I love goat cheese, but I really enjoy goat cheese. But I like it savory. I like it in like salads. I like it with crackers. I like it with pastas, but like a sweet application, I'm not sure about that. Jason Dahl says, another tip is to not stop at the first table. It's always jam-packed, and with Chicago, at least the aid stations are entire city block long. Yeah, I mean, the other thing is you're not going to it depends on the race. Chicago, there seems to be an aid station, like there's more aid stations than you need, except towards the end of the race, because then you're struggling usually, and then you like all the aid stations. But in the beginning, there's usually a lot that you don't need to go to. So skip a couple, maybe the first one, maybe not a couple, but maybe the first one, because everyone's going to be hitting that. So, yeah. Albert Long says, do you ever get paranoid when your car fob, apartment fob get damaged, fried by the moisture on a sweaty run? I used to ask them in my flip belt. I'm kind of worried about it, but I've also, the keep fob for the door downstairs of a building. I went swimming with the first time I went swimming in the lake. I forgot to take it out of the key pocket in my shorts. So I swam with it and it's still fine. And then the car key fob, I'm very not used to having a car key fob. So I put that thing through the laundry twice already. Still seems to be okay. All right, let's see. I think we had some other questions up here. Adam Fierce talking about the stride versus cadence distinction that ASICS has been making or made earlier this year, and then hasn't really followed up on. There's not been a lot of talk about it. So I'm not sure if they're like, we said we were going to release 2, so we got to release this other one. But like, I haven't seen like a lot, like people aren't like, I would think like with all the, getting ready for the Olympics, people be like, what's great? Wait, it's coming. So I haven't heard much. But they're saying they're stride runners and cadence runner. Adam thinks that the distinction is really a proxy for foot strength and ankle flexibility. Yeah, it could be. It very well could be. They didn't really give us good guidance on how one determines if they are or not. But they were definitely pretty clear about like it's not about heel strike versus forefoot strike. So that's not necessarily it. So ankle flexibility could be it. I hadn't thought of that though. Sean Devlin says, starting at marathon training, I need a long run shoe. I used Boston 7s last time I trained, and I don't think there were enough shoe for the longest runs. Any recommendations? Thanks. I'm going to go back to the Endorphin Speed again, because I feel like those are a little bit softer than the Bostons and are going to be good for a long run. I took them on a 30-mile run when I did an FKT attempt. So it's like, I think they're a great shoe for that. I think that those are going to work out. Another shoe that comes to mind is the New Balance Fuel Cell TC. I don't think there's going to be an update to that. I've been hearing about the RC2 Elite 2, but I haven't heard anything about a TC2. So I don't know if you'll still be able to get that, but I really like that one because I just felt like that one was really great for long runs, even if they're not super speedy. So I felt like that was a good one. The Artist also comes to mind as well. I always think of like the Fuel Cell TC and the Artist kind of together because they have a lot of similarities. The Artist by Atreyu, I think, is another one that could be a really good long run shoe. Another shoe that I've been enjoying is just a daily trainer is the Mach 4. That's one that's going to be a good one. Nova Blast, like as far as the daily trainers go. But, if you're looking for something that's going to be a little faster, which is, I think, probably what you're looking for since you mentioned the Boston 7, I'd also look at the which one is it from Puma? What do I have? The Deviate? The one with the carbon plate in it. Or is it a half carbon plate? That one. It's a little heavy, but it's really good on long runs. So I do enjoy that one quite a bit. Sean says, I hear a lot about the Artist. Cool. Yeah, they've been marketing it pretty hard. So I don't know if there's like another like batch that just came in or what, but I've been seeing a lot of about the Artist coming up lately. I think Triathlon Terran's been running in it. He really likes it. And I've been seeing a lot of posts from Atreyu in my Instagram. All right. Kevin Bickerton. What's going on, Kevin? Good to see you again. Says, I use a flip belt with a front zipper. Oh, I used to store a 150 ml soft flask during runs. Probably big enough pocket for up to a 300 ml flask. Oh, I like that. What was that, like 12 ounces, 14 ounces? Yeah. Oh, I got a conversion thing right here. 12 ounces. No, 300 mils. 300 mils would get us to... I don't know. I can't... the conversion's hard to see on this plastic. But interesting. Yeah, see, maybe that's the way. Maybe to make like a Franken belt. 300 milliliter Solomon flask or 2 150 ml flasks. If you could do one in the front and the back. I don't know if that's possible. But I'm thinking the zipper might be the way to go. I mean, yeah, it's a really roundabout way of getting to the solution. But, at least I've tried all the other ones or a lot of the other ones. So if you're looking at the bottom of this cup, there's not as much kind of like chunky residue at the bottom as I was expecting. So it did a pretty good job of dissolving well. So I like that. I don't like floaters. We've talked about this before. This one didn't have any floaters, no chunks, none of the like teeth straining. You ever do that when you have to drink a protein shake? You just kind of drink it like. So if there are chunks, it doesn't surprise you. It's like a bug in your soup kind of thing. I've never had a bug in my soup, but you always hear about that. Fly, there's a waiter in my soup. Waiter, there's a fly in my soup. Whoa, that was weird. My brain just did that backwards. All right. So he says 1 cup is 8 ounces, and that's 250 mils. Is it? Why do I think that 250 mils is more than that? Because I always thought that like a can was about 200 something mils, and a can is 12 ounces. But I suppose that's right. Frank says, I hate soft flasks. There is a pain to get in and out once they're a little less full. See, I'm the opposite. I only like them when they're a little bit less full. When they're super full, I feel like they're too heavy. They're bouncing around a lot. It's like, I usually end up drinking a lot early because I want to get a little bit out of the flask for me. Donovan Lessard says, Yoko, what are you predicting for the results of the 1500 meter Olympic trials on Sunday? I was like, first when I read that question, I was like, Ellie Perrier St. Pierre already won that. We talked about. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot the men's. But you know what? I actually don't know who's in the final. Come to think of it. But is Hobbs Kessler is running as a pro, right? Would that be his first pro race? Is he in the final? I thought he was, right? I got to catch up. My mind's been elsewhere, and you guys will find out more about that, why I've been a little bit distracted from the trials, but probably will find out about it tomorrow, but I'm leaving it as a surprise for now. But yeah, so I'm a little bit distracted on it. 1,500 meters. Yeah, I mean, like everyone thinks Craig Engels is going to win it. But I mean, I don't know who's going to take it from him. But I feel like there's going to be surprises. It's going to be a surprise. I don't think Hobbs Kessler is going to make it. But I think he's going to have a good showing. People are going to be super impressed. Ed Azwahe says, this is a beautiful picture, by the way, Ed. Look at that. What mountains are those? He says, hey, Kabuzi, endorphin speed or Nike Next Percent 2 for a half marathon? I have both, just deciding which one to use, aiming for a 5:30 per kilometer. I'm not sure what the conversion rate is on that in terms of miles per hour, minutes per mile. But I would say that I would prefer to have the Next Percent 2 for the half marathon. I think it's really great for a half marathon. The endorphin speed, I think, really starts to kind of like fade off a little bit for me once you get to like a little bit faster than a half marathon. So depending on like kind of like if there's hills or there's surges to it, not that like you're not that any of us are really like championship style racing, but sometimes you pick up the pace and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't love the endorphin speed for the half marathon, but like I'm assuming you have neither and you're looking to buy one, I would go for the Next Percent 2. Martha says, I bought the small flip belt flask to go with the flip belt, but haven't tried it yet. Anyone here use it? Andy uses the small one, which I'm almost like, he's the tallest runner I know. And he uses the small flip belt bottle. I was like, whoa, how does he do that? But I feel like with Andy, it's always like a contest of how like little he can use of things. How few gels can he bring? How little fluid can he bring? I feel like that's a very Andy approach to running. And Dominic says, try the Naked Running Band. Super comfortable, zero balance, very well thought out product. Just make sure you get the correct size. People keep saying that, but can anyone confirm? Naked Running Band. Does it still say Naked really big on it? Because if it does, I'm just not interested in that. I was also looking at on Instagram today, and there's a hydration product called like Fuel Up Hydration or something like that. And like all their packaging says FU hydration, and I'm like, that's like pretty juvenile. I'm like, is that really that's what you want to do? Okay, all right. So maybe I've gotten so many recommendations for that. So maybe it like to round out the kind of this excursion into waist belts. I got to get it, even if it says Naked on it. I'll get it. New Betcher says, fly, there's a waiter in my soup. Seems like it would be a caption on a New Yorker comic or something. I bet you it is. I bet you it's there. Alex M says, hey, Kabuzi, how did the Hoka Zinal hold up for your 50K now that you're recovered? Do you think they had enough cushioning underfoot for the ultra distance? I would say probably not. I mean, I got baby feet, or I have, how did Shalane Flanagan put it? She says she has dainty feet. I'm like that, where I like a lot more cushion underfoot. And, I did have the Lone Peak 5s in my drop bag that I could have switched out at the turn or at the halfway point. And there were points where I'm like, I really should have switched. But then I ran in the Lone Peaks this last weekend when we were out in Iowa. And some of that got a lot more technical than I was expecting. And I felt like my feet were all over the place. I was like, these are comfortable, but like I really want, like I'm hopping over things and I'm landing in air. I'm having to put my foot down, like on the downhill where I can't always see exactly what I'm landing on. Sometimes I was landing on rocks. So things were kind of like sliding around. And I felt like my foot would hit the ground and then the shoe would hit the ground and then my foot would slide even more, like kind of almost over the edge of the midsole. I know it wasn't doing that, but it kind of felt like that in my mind. And I was like, okay, so this is the trade-off that you get when you've got a shoe that's more room in the toe box versus a shoe that's really dialed in and like snug. And so like if I could have the upper of the Zinal and like the midsole of the Lone Peak 5, I think that'd have the perfect for me 50K trail shoe, which I'm guessing is probably the Challenger from Hoka. Or the Superior. But the Superior, I feel like doesn't quite have the lugs of the Zinal. And so or maybe I need to try the Speed Goat. Walmsley says he's running in the Speed Goat, the Evo Speed Goats. this weekend. I was listening to Ginger Runner's podcast or live stream the other day. So, I mean, maybe that's where I'm at, where I just need to. I always feel like I'm not going to like it. It's going to be way too much trail shoe, and people are going to be like, "You don't like it because you're not a real trail runner." And I'll say, "I know," but I think maybe there's more to it than that. Maybe. But yeah, I think, I've also been thinking a lot about it too. That I think that I don't know. Maybe I don't love like ultra trail. I think I'm going to look for some 25K trail races. Like I like the elevation. I like running through the woods. I don't love power hiking, but I'll tolerate it. I love kind of like having to tiptoe down the hills that are too steep. I'd rather be able to run down them, but that's all good. I like all that stuff, but I just don't want to be out there for more than 3 hours right now. And so I feel like maybe I need to get a couple more 25Ks under my belt. I think that's going to be my sweet spot. Similarly, I've been looking to try and run more half marathons rather than marathons because I feel like it's an event that you can run hard. You can run a lot of them too because you're not like getting as cooked when you race one. So like that's kind of where I'm at. And after that, I think the Zinal is a perfect shoe. I loved it for the first 3 hours of my race. So yeah, so it's a good one. It's a good one, but for 50K, I think maybe it's a little bit on the short side. I guess if it were a softer terrain for more of the run, then it might be able to compensate for that. But for what I saw out there, there were times where I was like, I could use a little bit more cushion. Oh, you know what? Yeah, it's probably the Torrent though. The Torrent doesn't have as much of that snug fit that I would want for going fast downhill on what I would consider somewhat technical terrain. I think for me, technical terrain isn't just is the trail technical. It's how fast are you going down it. The faster you're going, the less difficult the terrain has to be considered technical. In my mind, I don't think that's how real trail runners approach it, though. All right. Sorry, I went on a real long rant right there. Gendenism says Aeroswift running gear is worth it. I'd say yes. Oh, it's pouring rain. I guess some thunderstorms coming, I think. Yeah, it's beautiful running gear. It's super breathable. It is very lightweight. When you get super sweaty, it doesn't stick to your skin. So I just feel like it's ridiculously expensive and worth every penny. I think it's too expensive to run in every day. A really nice hard workout or like race day treat. It's really good. Really, really good. All right, let's do a couple more and then I gotta get going. Martha's saying bye everyone. Off to have home cooked Chinese food at a friend's house. Nice. That sounds delicious. I'm envious. I want some of that. I gotta tell you, I went to my running buddy's house, but we sat outside and drank beers around his fire pit in the backyard because it was before we were both vaccinated and it was like the middle of winter. But I haven't been to a friend's house in a long time. Sean Marshall says, Mike, do you like Inspector Gadget when you go on runs? Yeah, for sure I do. I said it when I was on the Drop podcast where I'm like, I'm just a caricature. I'm that guy that's like, so you could easily take a picture of me at any given day and be like running, and on the caption underneath would be running is great because it's such an inexpensive sport. So hey, I do. That's just the way I like to run. Grisha says we need speed goat cheesecake. There we go. Tyler Gordon said his marathon is delayed 2 weeks. That's a weird delay. It's a bummer. Where are you, Tyler? Are you in the UK? Oh, that stinks. That'd be really hard. I feel like because then, what if you've already started tapering? That's tough. And Sean said I was basing the question off that interview. He loved that episode of The Drop. Well, thanks for listening to that one. I did listen to the beginning portion of it. And then once I started talking, I was like, I know I've heard this guy before, so I don't need to listen to it. But I had a lot of fun talking with them. That was a lot of fun to do that. Yeah. Hope you guys listened to that and enjoyed it. Right. Let's do one more, and then I'll probably call it for today. Yesterday, in the afternoon, I took my daughter to go rock climbing, and it was her first time rock climbing since like the pandemic started. And we felt like, well, one of her best friends has been rock climbing a lot throughout a lot of this stuff that's been going on, and they've been telling us about the one gym that they go to. And it's like a climbing gym. That's all that's there. And I've been to that space before. It's cavernous. It's just giant. Lots of really great airflow. We went earlier in the day. There weren't that many people, and they still have their garage door open to let more airflow in. So we're like, and community spread here is low. Vaccination rates in certain pockets of the city are very high. So we're like, all right, let's try it. So she was super excited to get on the wall, and we did a session where like they would teach me how to do stuff. So I learned how to I got tutored for like my first session of rock climbing. So that was super fun. But yeah, my hands hurt today. Oh. But it was super fun. All right. Tyler says, yeah, he's in the UK and it's annoying because now it's October 3rd. Any advice? All right. Well, if it's, I thought you were saying like, I thought my marathon was going to be like in a week from now, and now it's moved back 2 weeks. So that's not as difficult. If it's October 3rd now, and it was supposed to be like middle of or towards the end of September, I still think that, you're pretty far out. So easily what I think you could do is just like repeat the last 2 weeks again, if you want to do that, or, figure out how to reset. I don't know how far you're in, but if you're like if you've only started a little bit ago, then maybe you could just readjust the timing of it, and give yourself like an easy week before you kind of get back into the program again. So that's not as bad, I think, it being as far out as October versus late September. So I think those are some adjustments that you can make. But probably the thing that I would do is like, if I got 2 more weeks, I'll just repeat weeks like 4 and 5 again. Depending on like how intense 4 and 5 tend to be. Maybe like 5 and 6 are the better ones to repeat. But that's kind of what I'll look at. Jason Dahl says, anyone ordered merch from Ben Parks in the US? I'm a newbie with international shipping. Wasn't sure how it works, etc. I did, and I feel like I got it super fast. I've ordered stuff from him a couple times, and I felt like I got it super fast. There were no surprises in terms of extra costs or anything like that. So everything that I thought I was going to pay is what I paid, and it worked really well. And you get a handwritten note. My understanding is that everything's packaged exceptionally well. Kind of like the unboxing experience is really nice. As you would expect from something that Ben Parks is involved in. And then there's always a handwritten note. And I think that like sometimes Ben writes them, but I think it's his mom that writes them, that write the handwritten notes in all the merch that goes out, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's very cool. Very, very cool. All right. I think it's a good place to leave it for today. Remember, no more like scheduled live streams, but we might do something, might hop on a live stream on YouTube. Maybe we'll do something on Instagram Live over the weekend. I'm just not sure exactly what the schedule is going to be. So I'm not sure, but keep an eye out. And yeah, tomorrow's video is going to be, I think tomorrow's video is going to be about swimming. Or it might be about the workout from today. I haven't decided yet. But we'll have a video tomorrow anyway. And by the time it posts, I'll already be in the air on my first flight in a long time. So wish me luck, guys. I don't need luck or anything like that, but I'm a little bit nervous about it, to be completely frank. I'm not concerned. I don't have concerns, like medical concerns. It'll be an experience for me, I think. And it's all part of my coming out of the bunker. I'm ready. I'm doing it. So wish me luck, guys. All right. Good to see you guys again. And I will see you guys at least at the latest by next Monday. So in the meantime, hope you guys have a really great weekend and have a lot of fun out there. And thanks, everybody.